Hey, this is Full Game Prometheus, the only YouTuber that actually gives you full games of all the tips and schemes I post on my channel. I'll show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Alright, so guys, if you're new to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, that notification icon so you can get my daily uploads. Alright, so guys, I want to talk about my favorite 5 plays from my personal New Orleans Saints ebook that I just recently released on my channel. Guys, if you are familiar, if you aren't familiar with this, you can actually see me do a breakdown of this. I put together about 30 different plays out of the New Orleans Saints playbook, and I try to go ahead and create unique schemes that are not constantly getting spammed online, and I wanted to share this with you guys just so you had something you can use. Alright, so basically there's 5 different plays out of about four different formations that we're going to take a look at. I do use a lot of the weak pro formation, and I try to establish the power O weak as one of my base plays, but I didn't really care for the passing plays too much. Skinny post is really good, but it wasn't a play that I went to a lot. One of the formations that I actually found that I used a lot in the game was I-form slot flex, and I'd always go ahead and come out and pick a running play, whether it's a strong halfback toss or basically utilizing the Saints halfback zone as one of my base plays. So we're just going to come out of the zone and we'll show you the 2 audibles that we really jumped into a lot. Alright, so I use this to basically establish the run against my opponent as much as possible, and some of these running plays are just phenomenal. But there are two passing plays that are stock passing plays that I tried to build a whole scheme around. Now, one of the plays was hitch corner, but I only called this play when I had off coverage, and that was one of the things I was looking for. So right here in this situation, this would be good. But the other play we're going to take a look at is going to be play action divide. Now, my controller that I have right now is actually acting a little bit funny. So basically, I would say if I had a choice, I would go ahead and pass block my running back and try not to get tied into the play action. And the primary reason is that running back route is just a little bit funky, and it doesn't really help much. So really what this particular play does is that it's got a unique route by the circle wide receiver where he actually gets in a nice zone area. Now, this is a good play to go ahead and call against your opponent if he's running a lot of like cover 2 with a deep blue. It's a great play for that type of stuff, primarily because he's going to get in an area that's not going to get covered, and if it is man coverage, a lot of times he's going to beat his man because he's got inside position and he's got that weird route. So I really look to that route a lot. If my opponent actually fell back into a zone, I would just go ahead and take the little dragging crosser underneath to be able to pick up a first down. So very easy play to run. You'll see me run it a couple times. A couple times I'd get caught off guard, but for the most part it was easy for me to run that. Now, the next place we're going to take a look at is going to be the hitch corner, and it's a quick audible. And I always make one adjustment. I take Ginn and the outside receiver again, which is my second receiver, and put him in a whip route, because if the defender doesn't fall down to him, I can pick up an easy 5 yards against him, especially if the defender actually floats up. So anytime I had off coverage like this is a perfect scenario. I'll go ahead and hit that little whip route. It just forced my opponent to defend that underneath route and try to open things up for me. So it was like an easy 5 yards against my opponent, and there's really nothing he could do against it. And a lot of times if he was playing a cover 3 shell, I could pick up a good 10 or 15 yards with him because no defender could get in the area. Now, sometimes you'll have a cover 2 type of situation like this, and what happens is you can sometimes hit this route. That was actually a perfect ball by Breeze, but it's not necessarily a ball I throw confidently. I really look for that whip route if nobody falls in the area, and I'll just take the check down from there. Now, a play that I basically dumped out of this entire scheme was the stick and up. It basically was very disappointing, and I replaced that as my hot audible for Saints out. But the play that I really jumped to, that if I really needed a first down and I wanted to give myself an opportunity to be able to hit my opponent with deep routes and force him to use her, was corner strike. This is a play that I actually jumped into a lot, and basically it was 3 quick fast audibles. I'd block all, I'd take my tight end and actually go ahead, put him a streak or a on a fade, and on my backside receiver, Thomas, I'd actually put on a drag route. And the drag route is going to be one of the areas I'm going to look to first to be able to pick up that nice high percentage pass. If he's doing over-the-top coverage, what's going to happen is that drag route should be wide open. Now, I've also got the circle route on the back-end side, but you can see right here I'm picking up a good, 10 yards right there just with a little drag route, so it's a very high percentage. Now, what's cool about this route combination is you've got this deep in route, and as you can see right there, I'm able to pick up a good 20 yards with that. So if the opponent actually comes down and attacks that drag route, you can hit him on the backside. There's just no way he's going to be able to get to be able to cover different areas. And any kind of a man read, you've got obviously the patented circle routes on the outside, which is the corner strike staple. So this is definitely a play I jumped into in situations where I needed to pick up some pretty big yards, just because the way the play sets up, it just opens up the field dramatically. Now, another play that I jump into a lot on money downs, it would be one of my fast audibles would be Saints Mesh Wheel. And really what I would do is the following. If I had a too high safety look, it wasn't a cover 3, I'd block my running back with a fast audible. And I want to go ahead and open up a deep post opportunity by taking Thomas and streaking him up. Now, my first progression is going to be over here on the right hand side. I'm going to go ahead and look to the coverage, and if it's single coverage, there's nobody out there, and it's not like a cover 2 type shell or cloud coverage, I would basically go ahead and I can pop again for an easy 15-yard gain. If not, I'm looking at the levels and then obviously the post on the back end side. So right here it looks like cover 2, and it is, and ball just got overthrown right there, but you can see that it was a cover 2 shell. And I was able to go ahead. I probably could have got myself a nice touchdown right there if I didn't have that cover 2 shell. So this particular route right here actually, for the most part, will take on pretty much every type of a deep blue coverage that you want to go after, especially mans. This looks like it's going to be a man blitz, and I can just pop this for an easy 15-yard completion every time. So that's what I like having that in my back pocket, is that is my first read that I can go and hit against my opponent. And then obviously got the deep posts on the back end side against cover 2. Now, if my opponent was using some type of basically a cover 2 with a deep blue, I've got the deep crossing. I've got the crossing route over here by the tight end. I'm just forcing that ball in there. The right read was off to the right hand side with Thomas, so that would be, as you can see, single coverage for the most part is going to be an easy completion. And if you have a big body receiver with good catch in traffic, he's going to basically get an easy completion 90% of the time. So off coverage, easy completion. I just love this play. It's very good, especially if you're someone who uses a lot of cover 3, because a lot of times the defenders just can't go out there. And then you've got the post route on the back end side. So right here, got the drag route on the other side. So I'm hitting flats, sidelines, and I've got a deep post. So just multiple areas against my opponent that is just going to keep him guessing with it. So this is why I really love about this play. And it's basically one very fast adjustment that you can hit against them. Let's see if we can get the one-play touchdown. Looks like we can right there, so I'll go ahead and take it. Now, the final play we're going to take a look at is going to be play action read. This particular play is very glitchy against cover 2. And typically an inside wide receiver should be covered by a cover 2 man, but for some particular reason it isn't. So I'd block my running back, and then I'd go ahead and take my outside receiver Coleman and actually put him on a drag route. So that gave me kind of a high-low look. But if you take a look, for some particular reason, that yellow zone should carry over to the inside receiver. He should be very conscious of it, but the way this play is set up, something preoccupies the mid zone, and he doesn't get covered correctly on that. So you can see he's giving me a good 10-yard advantage with this particular play. So let's see if we can get it off. So once again, see how he bites down? I don't know what it is, but against anybody that just uses just a straight cover 2, this inside post position, which should generally get covered by the mid zone, isn't there, and it just exploits it dramatically. So I love this play against cover 2 spammers. You can get yourself one-play touchdowns or huge completions over the middle with it. Now, What is good is if you have an opponent that runs basically the standard cover 2 with the deep blue, you've also got Gen on his backside route, which essentially is that route that you get down to the back end side against any cover 2. So you got yourself basically 2 different levels that he's going to have to go ahead and defend against, and you got the little dragging route over the middle right here. So trying to force into the dragging route. Obviously that deep post was wide open. So let's just see the coverage floats up. So now you can just go ahead and settle down for the underneath route. So this is a really, really cool play to go ahead and jump into. I found it's just a money play that I would jump into. My opponent's running cover 2. I would just basically destroy him with this zero play. It was just so easy to go ahead and pick up easy yards with it. So guys, I hope you appreciate this. These 5 top plays. These are plays that I use out of my scheme. There's other formations that I would use in other money type situations, but these are the 5 plays that are not commonly talked about that I felt they were very good. So if you do like this, make sure you hit the like button. And once again, to my subscribers, thanks for your support, and until next time.